questions. So, Diego, just bringing you on stage now. Then please ask your question.
Yeah, I think I'll probably bring a couple guys on stage at once, so that this way we don't have to wait.
Yeah, Diego, are you there? You also have Irina on the stage. Irina, do you want to go ahead?
Yes, hi. Thank you so much for organizing this and happy anniversary. I have a question. So, I am based in Dubai and you're just relocating to Dubai. Can you tell us more about your Dubai plans, please? Thank you.
Yeah, I think Dubai is one of the most um, favorable locations in terms of crypto regulation, forward thinking, pro business environment, and also low taxes. Dubai have zero personal income tax, zero inheritance tax, and also kind of basically zero corporate tax. If you incorporate in one of the free zones, it's a no corporate tax. Onshore companies have a 9% tax, which is still very low. But more important than the tax is the what I mentioned earlier. The government is very pro innovation. So Dubai is a little bit it takes a little bit of time to get used to. It is an extremely modern city, and many high rises built out in the middle of a desert. And not only Dubai, like neighboring Abu Dhabi, etc. as well. But it is kind of dry, so you have to get used to living in the desert a little bit. But it's a very modern city with fantastic restaurants, lifestyle, etc. So we really like it, and we have significantly increased our team size there. We have what somewhere around 500 to 600 people there now. So and it's also in a very good location. Time zone wise, it overlaps with almost every single time zone, and flight wise, very close to Europe, Africa, Asia, and US. So it's kind of in the middle of everywhere. So yeah, so we do plan to invest very heavily, and also expand our presence there. So yeah, that's very high level. I don't have specific plans on what exactly we're doing, etc. But we usually don't plan that way. So, but
Sorry about the sound, folks. It's literally as loud as I can get it to go. It's insane.
Great, thanks. All right, over to you, Jess. Are you there?
Hey, CZ, thank you so much for having me up. Quick question. With everything that's happened with Luna and some of these larger protocols, has that changed the vision for Binance and projects that they're going to invest in the future, or just future plans for Binance itself?
I think it has some short-term impact in terms of how we do due diligence on projects, etc. But longer term, if you look at the bigger picture, it's fine. The
Vision for
industry hasn't
Binance
changed,
and
but the technology fundamentals haven't changed. This is a new technology for transferring value or new technology for money. This is going to have profound impacts on economies, how we raise money, how we invest, how we send money, how this continue to go, and it's actually much easier to identify projects now, and the valuations are much more reasonable. So we'll continue to hire people in the bear market. We'll continue to invest, and we'll continue.
The sound issue is on their side, folks. Everything on my side is boosted as high as it can go. I just tried boosting it higher, but no luck. Just read the captions at the bottom as well. You welcome to go and try out the actual stream too, but it's the same.
I think you probably know him already, CZ. Elja, do you want to go ahead and ask your question?
Hello, ni hao. First of all, happy anniversary for Binance. And there are two questions actually. Yesterday, I was sitting with a big hotel chain, and they want to add Binance Pay. So I know the guy, and he's using Binance for many years. Yet he doesn't know that there is in the marketplace, like there is something called hotel, etc. And he found these hotels over there. How can we ease the experience for people to reach there? Like the guy is using Binance for 3 years, and he didn't know that. That's the first question. Okay, please.
Sure. Why don't you ask both?
Okay, yeah. The second question, how can we move into the decentralized NFT marketplace? Because we have a big market and it's really hard that, I love Binance and that's something you already know. But I want to see the decentralized, like Gal or whatever. How can we enhance, or what need to happen, or what is your plan to move, like, to cover the world, basically?
Sure. I think on the first one, it's both a product and marketing optimization mechanism. So we just need to improve our product, either product design, so that people get exposed to key features, and at the same time, we can probably increase our marketing outreach a little bit, maybe more. Um, yeah, I don't think there's any magic bullets. I'll pass this feedback to our. I'm sure a few of our team members are already listening to this, so we'll pass that feedback, see how we can improve there. There's always going to be some, and Binance have so many in the Binance ecosystem. There's so many products. There's always a chance that, well, there's always a pretty decent chance. Actually, most people don't know all the products we have, and we just gotta we just gotta take time to educate. On the second question on the DeFi marketplace, I think today the most limiting factor for the DeFi marketplace is most people doesn't know how to hold their own keys securely. I think people on this call probably, if you guys are following me and taking the time to join this space, you guys are probably the more advanced users. You guys can able to encrypt a private either private key or a seed, and then store them on multiple USB sticks, store them in different geographic locations, maybe with different relatives and stuff like that. Most people can't do that. So most people can't even most people, if they use a hardware wallet, they may lose it, they may not have the proper backups, etc. So I think I actually think that's the hardest problem to we need to solve in the industry. And then if we have tools that allow normal people, non-technical people, to be able to hold their keys securely. They don't have to worry about getting viruses on their computer. They don't have to worry about, well, this relatively secure against hackers and also against themselves. How do they give the funds to their kids if they're no longer around? So if we can solve that problem, I think we'll see much more activity moving to DeFi. DeFi actually offers a much more simplified experience once we solve that problem. Most DeFi projects have no KYC, no AML. The user interface is actually much simpler. You just use your key, connect your wallet, and you either buy or sell, and or you stake and lend. So the interface is actually much simpler. So I think once we solve those technical challenges, more and more people will move to DeFi, and I think that's a good thing. And for Binance.com, for the centralized exchange, that's okay. We're never really married on one product. Yeah, right now it is the largest product for us, but there's many. I always believe there are more opportunities in the future than there were in the past. So and we already have many other products in the DeFi space anyway. So we'll continue to invest very heavily in DeFi. When the landscape changes, hopefully, I'm pretty sure we'll have multiple products there. So that's kind of how I view it.
Awesome. Thanks, CZ. All right, Erdal, are you there? Okay, what about Danny?
Good morning. It's Crypto Danny 420 over here. Congratulations on turning 6. I'm actually also a Binance user, but I happen to be in Ontario. So I was just wondering if there's any developments that you could speak of in terms of what's happening in Ontario, if it's going to be moving forward. The second part to my question is, I got like a whole bunch of NFTs still locked up on my NFT account on the Binance side. So I can't really transfer them out because like I'm not allowed to access like my funds, like my BNB and my BUSD to kind of send them out as gas. So I was just wondering if there's a way to maybe even just drop the gas fee on that. So like people that have their NFTs still locked up can maybe just get them out into the DeFi wallet. I'll drop down to listener and just listen to the response. Thank you very much for having me up here.
Sure. I'm actually quite curious. Which exchanges can you use in Ontario today?
We've lost him. He already left. I'll try and get him back, but you can answer the other parts first.
Sure. Well, the other thing is more of an operational thing. Yeah. So we are. I know our team. We have a specific Ontario Canada team. They're in the process of licensing application. So once that license comes through, then we will be able to service all users in Canada again. So we had to offboard users because of the regulations there. And yeah, but I'm really curious as to what other exchanges do people use there?
We have access to like pretty much everything. It seems like the main big one here would be crypto.com, and then like secondary ones would be like Coinbase, KuCoin, Uphold. I think some people have used a little bit of BlockFi as well here. Yeah, pretty much it. Nothing too big. Like the biggest ones would be the Binance and I guess the CDC.
Okay. So, for example, a number of exchanges you mentioned there does not have licenses in Canada or Ontario, like KuCoin, Uphold, etc. So, but unfortunately, we are the biggest one, so we're usually scrutinized first. And then when we block, users go to other smaller exchanges. So today, the regulations are not applied very evenly among exchanges, but it is what it is. So we are in the process of licensing applications. Once we get that, we should be able to service all users in Canada again. Regarding the NFTs, I'll definitely pass the feedback. I actually didn't know about that problem. That's an interesting issue that when we lose access to a certain region, we actually this is something we probably did not design well. But at the same time, this is probably why we have users who just have funds on our exchange, and now there's to help them move the funds out when we can no longer service them. So I'll give the feedback to our team, and we'll follow up on that.
I appreciate it. I'm going to drop down to the listener again. Thank you, CZ.
Thank you. Yeah.
Thanks, Danny. All right, next up. Sorry if I pronounced your name wrong. Is it Bettel? No. Okay. Let's go to Peter.
Hi, thanks for having me up, CZ. Happy birthday. A lot of DeFi projects offer passive income in the way of a specific APY, but we also see a lot of projects crashing because of an unsustainable APY. Do you think that DeFi projects should ever offer a specific performance yield? And if so, is there like a number at which the number seems to get a little bit too high?
Okay, so I think that's a pretty interesting question. That's a very good question. Generally speaking, offering a specific APY for a long period of time is usually problematic, especially a high one. And A low one may be okay. So, but for example, the earlier DeFi's, the APY is dynamically determined in the market, which is much better. So when you lend your crypto to a smart contract that's providing liquidity for people to trade against, people pay trading fees, and those fees are used to pay interest. This way, that whole loop is closed. It makes sense. Whereas of course, there's competition between the different projects. The newer projects, in order to win users, they will come and they will promise a large APY for a period of time. And But many of these projects don't have users. So if when they promise a high APY, they will have to give their coins out. Usually, like they issue a coin and they use their own coins to pay. That actually means more and more tokens of their tokens are being circulated in the marketplace at a high rate. And they also may not have enough income, or users not spending enough of their coins to so that the coin price just increase. When the coin circulating supply increases faster than they can get users, then the price crashes. Then it goes into a vicious cycle. Price crashes, people lose money and lose face. They get pissed off, and then they spread bad comments in the community about those projects, and then they lose reputation, they lose more users, and the vicious cycles goes. So, fundamentally, I think using a high APY for a short period of time to bootstrap some users is okay. But after a certain period of time, you cannot do that forever. It doesn't work. After a certain period of time, you have to review and say, look, do we have product market fit? Do we have more users joining than the amount of money the amount of coins that they're spending? So, as an investor, be very careful for projects that promise fixed high APYs. I think any double-digit APY is basically long-term very difficult to sustain. Basically impossible to sustain, I think. Um, there could be exceptions, but I think very difficult. I think APY is somewhere between 2 to 8%, depending on the project type, etc., depending on the market, is possible. But a dynamically adjusting one is much better. So yeah, so I don't think APY. I don't think using APYs, using a yield to attract users is necessarily a bad thing if it's done for short term to bootstrap users. There needs to be fundamental working business models where those coins are spent in some fashion, so that the total circulating supply does not grow exponentially or does not grow faster than the number of users they can get.
Great. Thanks, CZ. All right, Joe, are you there?
Yeah. Hi, Susie, and happy birthday. Uh, so I just want to ask that with like the rate of growth and like the crypto spaces and everything that's been happening with like projects, just like you mentioned, most especially we saw uh, what happens to Lunar. Uh, what do you have to say basically about like what we are going to be seeing with like the regulations, as we move on?
Um, it's very hard to generalize about what's going to happen with regulations. Number one, there's 200 different countries in the world, and many countries have multiple regulators. They're often financial regulators, they're technology regulators, and then the central banks, etc. And then there's politicians, presidents, monarchies, kings, etc. So um, uh, I don't. It's very hard to predict how each of them thinks and what the reactions are. But generally speaking, though, I think definitely seeing more regulators taking a closer look at stable coins, given the Luna UST incident, and they are also more looking at the industry in general a little bit more with a little bit more scrutiny. Um, Previously, most of the regulations in the industry or in different parts of the world are focused on centralized exchanges in the crypto space. And in the centralized exchanges, they are much more heavily focused on the KYC and AML aspects of how centralized exchanges are run. But now, yes, the regulators are looking at a slightly a broader. Most regulators are looking at a broader spectrum now, which is actually healthy. Nothing. That's actually a good thing. And I've also met many regulators who understand all of the nuances in the industry. They say, look, just because one project failed doesn't mean the technology is bad. It doesn't mean that this industry is going to fail. And in fact, some failures in the early stages is actually good. It's a good reminder for that we have been very actively engaged with, none of them are saying, okay, we're going to shut down, we're going to ban crypto because of Luna. They are taking a slightly more nuanced look at different projects, etc. So yeah, so we'll see how Luna plays. Well, how this there are different investigations, inspections happening now. We'll see how it plays out. It's part of growing. It's part of growing up as an industry.
All right, Udi, do you want to go ahead and ask your question?
All right. Thank you very much, Binance, and thank you, CZ. A happy anniversary, and it's also an honor to be in this press. So my question is, for someone like me who is very passionate about crypto and blockchain adoption in Africa, and CZ has been following me where I mostly talk about Africa, especially where we know that this particular region is actually ripe for crypto adoption. Currently, we know how much Binance has invested on P2P payments in helping, especially African regions where the government has restricted many users of Binance from using the P2P or to transact with the Binance on cryptocurrency. So, but the one problem we have been having among the communities is many people who are bad eggs, or could we call them scammers, who use the P2P. What measures is Binance putting in place to keep users safe? Although we know that there are KYCs, but still, we still have some elements of bad eggs who are infiltrating the P2P payment. That's number one question for CZ. Number two question for CZ is, we know that Trust Wallet has a way, is supported by Binance. Is it possible that we are going to see off-ramp payments on the decentralized wallets like Trust Wallet? And also, will it be possible for us in Africa to have crypto payments which could be easily be used in the market, in the supermarket, in the shops, which will really facilitate the adoption we are talking about in Africa? Thank you.
Sure. Yeah. Oh, it's good to speak to to you with Yudi. It's also good to speak with everyone that using voice. Typically, we just use tweets. So on the P2P side, um, on the fraud, scammers, etc. P2P, the Binance P2P platform works in such a way that Binance hold custody of the crypto. So we do hold an escrow function and facilitate that transaction. And when it goes into dispute resolution, our customer support, etc., gets involved. So there are some bad players, there are some fraudsters, but usually my understanding is the percentage of transactions affected by those guys are quite small. And we do have very simple, well, they are very simple and good systems for detecting those bad players. Because if a guy always end up in a dispute resolution, if a merchant has a very high chance of ending up in a dispute resolution, then it's quite easy for the system to flag them out. I can check with our team to make sure that this is implemented well, and we track that. I personally have not used that service myself. I actually don't use many of the products we offer, so I'll check with the team. There also feedback from the community every day about how we can enhance it. Today, I received a feedback. I passed the feedback to the P2P team. One was what feedback about, can we allow users to comment on the sellers once they conclude a transaction. So there are many different ways to do that. I'm not saying that we're doing a perfect job, but it shouldn't be that hard of a problem to solve, given that the platform do custody the crypto assets during the transaction. So probably many times there may be fraudsters that tell users to say, "Hey, click this button so that you can so that Binance can release the funds," and the user may click those buttons by mistake. So we should increase that user education part. On the Trust Wallet or decentralized wallet off ramps, The off-ramps typically require going through a traditional financial tool. Either it's a bank or it's mobile payments or it's M-Pesa or other payment services, etc. So because we have to convert into cash. And the decentralized tools can't do them alone. Using Trust Wallet is a blockchain wallet. You can't do that alone without some support from either ourselves or a third party or one of those traditional service providers. So it doesn't just because the Trust Wallet is decentralized doesn't solve that problem. Most of the on and off ramps today still have to go through a centralized entity which does KYC, AML, etc. So I don't see a quick way out of it. There are smaller service providers which will work with DeFi wallets. We do work with a number of them, but many of them don't have very limited geographic coverages and even service capacity limits. But we'll continue to work on that. On the payment side, we offer all the tools already. We can always enhance them, but the Binance Pay is a pretty simple to use tool. A merchant can just display a QR code. The receiver can just display a QR code, and the payer just scans it and pays. So and the payer can choose whatever currency they want to pay. The receiver can choose whatever currency they want to receive. Binance Pay handles the conversion in between at a zero fee, and many times with even a rebate. So the rates are extremely good and much cheaper than almost any traditional form of payments. But many people don't know this, and many merchants shops have not started. Well, some of them do, but just like crypto adoption, I think if you look at the retail side, crypto adoption is probably somewhere around 1 to 3%, and shops are also at those levels. So 97 out of every 100 shops may not be accepting crypto today, but we do believe that number will change very quickly over the next few years. So, but at the same time, we can do more to educate. We can always do more to push the adoption. I don't think there's any magic bullets there. We just gotta continue to push and hire teams that do offline sales and business development to get those guys on board, and which we do have plans to do. So yeah, it's just something that we will continue to push hard on. I do have a hard stop in 1 minute. So maybe one last question. Yeah.
Lucy, are you there to ask a quick question?
Hello, everyone. I am a member of the Moonkeys community.
Okay, definitely not.
User of Binance.
All right, CZ, why don't you just tell everyone real quick about what's happening with the Binance event tomorrow, and then we'll let you go.
I'm actually not too sure what exactly is happening at the Binance event tomorrow. So it is our 5th year anniversary now, and there is a couple of different events I'm attending in person. I live my life 24 hours at a time. I only know what's happening 24 hours ahead. My calendar is my Bible. I just go where my team tells me to go. I actually don't know exactly what's happening, but there's a lot of different. I assume there's a lot of people coming. A lot of discussions, a lot of events, some celebrations, probably some gifts being gifted out. Not sure if there are any special announcements to be made. Probably is. We just reduced Bitcoin trading fees to 0 on both Binance.com, the global platform, and also Binance US. I don't know what else is happening. Am I missing anything? Well, I'm sure I'm missing a lot, but any other things you guys want to share?
I think that's pretty much fine. Yeah, so we'll be celebrating offline in Paris tomorrow. It's a free event with thousands of people attending, but we'll also be celebrating online as well. So we look forward to hearing from all of you more throughout the rest of the week. Thanks, CZ, for your time. I know you have to go, so I'll let you go.
All right, thanks, Alex. All right, cheers, guys. Thank you guys for listening. Thanks, bye.
What an absolute shamble that was, in my opinion. I don't know how you folks felt about that, but I was doing a load of stuff in the background to see how you raise your hand and other things like this. But I was unable to. A few other people that are in there were also unable to actually raise their hands as well, as if it was all set up, ready to go. Normally there's a love heart in the bottom left hand corner. You can normally tap that, raise your hand, and then you get chosen as a speaker. There was plenty of us in there. There was a lot of influencers. I saw Matthew Perry knocking around in there. Vegas was in there as well. Yeah, really, really poor volume, really poor execution. Now, if we go to Binance's tweet, as you can see here, where is it? Where is thou tweets? Here we go. So 2 p.m. UTC, okay? So if I go to the Terror Rebels Discord clock, at the moment it says 1:31 p.m. UTC. So yeah, this all happened literally like an hour before it was supposed to, which is an absolute joke, in my opinion. They kind of have a duty at the moment, in my opinion, as well, to actually answer these questions. And it really is as simple as them just going, it's users' coins, it's not ours. And it's actually getting ridiculous, so to speak, that we actually can't get those answers. So yeah, it's not really what we wanted, was it? It wasn't as I thought we was going to get something really like mind-blowing like the last one with Bankless. And that's why I said Bankless really did do us a solid one. No doubt when this was happening, there has been a slight dip. So probably a lot of people just getting annoyed, getting paper handed or whatever, and just a lot of the buying pressure is brought on by people FOMOing in and believing that, oh, it's going to be the moon tomorrow, and it just doesn't work like that. Good Lord, I need to turn my volume down. So yeah, the volume really sucked on that side of things. That's why I played the Doom intro, because everybody was moaning, and I thought, all right, okay, I hope you've all got your headphones on, you're ready for this one. So yeah, probably going to lose the monetization for this YouTube thing if the algorithm catches it, but hopefully not. But who cares anyway, right, folks? Life's not about money. Life's about making people happy and helping the community and people around you to help them prosper, not yourself. So in my opinion, nothing actually got asked. It was just sort of like, oh, we're Binance and it's our birthday and everything's about us. And it's just like every question that got asked was just sort of like, I could have come up with better questions. Just to not even Lunar Classic related. I had loads of things. So the guy who asked about the NFT thing, that's really viable. And they just didn't really answer that. Whereas like they've just made Bitcoin fees 0 for trading, which is absolutely peculiar as to what they're doing. It is strange. John Weidman, thank you so much for the donation during that. All of the chat revenue will be going to Burn up until the 31st of August. And the good news, folks, is I'm in the period of when YouTube pays out. So they pay out between today and the 12th of this month. You can go on Google, you can Google when does YouTube pay out, and you will get those same results. So both channels are monetized. Both channels will be burning Lunar Classic forever on the Lunar Classic Let It Burn channel, and in 3 months, like I said. So it runs up to the 31st of August at HappyCattyCrypto. And I think a lot of you would be shocked to see how much we are going to burn on the HappyCattyCrypto channel. And that, yeah, it's going to be really, really good. So I'm not really going to drag this live stream on anymore, because we've got the live stream tomorrow coming up. So if anybody wants to ask me any questions tomorrow, feel free to swing in at midday tomorrow, jump into that live stream, and yeah, we'll see what we can do. I know Binance is in Paris tomorrow. I'm possibly going to look to see if I can fly out, but no promises, because obviously I have my own life that I need to keep on top of, and someone would need to look after the cat and things like that. So yeah, I have looked into it. I really do want to do it and just go there, get the answers that we need as a community, so we can get over this bridge and keep moving forward. How is going the staking? Shall I answer some questions now? Smash the like button, throw some penguins, do what you need to do. I won't tap the microphone like that again if you want me to stay and answer some questions for another half an hour. How is the staking going? No answers are good answers. As to staking, do you mean like the restoration of the governance and Terror Rebels getting all of that back online, right? Let me know in the comment section if that's what you mean. CZ got his own plans and is not interested in talking about Terror Rebels and what they got going on. Yeah, which is weird, right? Because they boast about having such a open door and things like that, right? It's Mike Hansen. I would love to take her, but she's not a people person, so to speak. She's a rescue, so she's not very good with other human beings. I guess for the penguins and the that happened, I will carry on going. Morning, Texas Crypto. Nice to hear from you. Nice to see you in the stream. Nice to see you in the stream. Hello, Gulje, Andy Shepherd, Grand Balam, Josh Joplin, Tabraz, and 19. Oh, the sound is so low. I know. And every time there was a notification, it was like bringing off in my ear like crazy. So, yeah, absolutely nuts. Big Ted the Megalodon, welcome. Panky, welcome. Bearded Legend, welcome. But yeah, it's all just a bit too short notice for me on the going to Paris thing, but just because of the way everything is over here at the moment for me, and it's such a ball ache, so to speak, actually flying out of the country or even just going over on the a Euro Star. But I'm gonna have a look in a couple of hours. I'm gonna see if it's possible that I can go out there, go do that, and then possibly back in England for a couple hours later. So I will keep you updated as to that. I have been looking into it. Let's go over and look at the price of USTC, because we all know that this is what carried it as far as we know. Whatever's been going on, this has been the one that's been carrying it. And it did run up quite a crazy amount, as you can see, holding now back down at 729%. Yes, I'll drag it over and it will say the same. So yeah, CZ is for the money. Yes, and that's what all of these exchanges are after at the end of it. As much as they want to act like they're for the community, their businesses work on making profit, and just that's just the way the world works. It's not evil. It's not bad that they're like that. I mean, you wouldn't be the top exchange, would you, if you didn't make so much money and things like that, right? Don't those who ask the questions have Google? Christian asked for Lane, man. Yeah, they were. I was really upset about it. Andy Shepherd, I could just take the boat over. I just shoot out of the Thames on it and shoot across the channel. Don't know who asked us. Yeah, they were. They really did suck. I was sat there the whole time like, oh, I really want to start talking over him, but I just wanted to hear what was going to get said. But how's the on-chain burning going? There is no on-chain burning happening whatsoever, one bit. The 1.2% burn tax is currently in the integration test, sorry folks, and then after that the testing's finished, it still needs to be put into the new repository, which then will make up the new software update, which will then be presented to new validators, and we have to get validators on board. Without the validators, nothing's going to happen, and that's the truth. And like I always do with you folks, I always tell you the truth, and that is what happens. And a lot of people are asking me about my speculation on the CZBINANCE wallet. I'm going to do a video later today, but one thing that I have been saying to people, and I have said this to people from the start, and it's even more relevant now due to the things that have been said in the Terror Rebels white paper, is if it is users' coins, then it's probably going to be a malicious actor, so to speak, and the likelihood of them trying to sell out on these pumps is going to be really high. And pretty much in the event that they get Terror Rebels, get the governance restored, the staking back online, and there's a malicious attack, Terror Rebels have mentioned in the white paper that they could pretty much do a snapshot and then a possible fork. And obviously I know exactly how the community will react to that, and I know a lot of people have overlooked that in the white paper because people just scam read stuff. It's totally understandable, but it is in there. Do go and have a look. It's pretty important that you folks do know that it is a possibility that a malicious actor could come into play and use their holdings to try to attempt to control the governance, so to speak. So yeah, it's always a risk. And I know, I mean, me personally, I don't ever want to see Lunar Classic have to go for a fork because it's just absolutely silly. CZ is not the community, as he said previous live in YouTube. Timbo, good day from sunny Australia. Oh, yeah, I bet that's lovely out there this time of year. Thank you so much, John Weidman. Honestly, please stop donating. You've donated so much today already. Thank you. I really appreciate it. Remember, folks, it's all going to Burn. It doesn't go to me. And yeah, it's really good. Any word on how much we have burned this month so far through the channel? Also, Burnham. So we haven't burned anything through the channel yet, but like I was just saying to people that the payout is supposed to be pretty much between today and the 12th. So the second that lands into my AdSense account, I'll move it straight to my bank account, and then I'll literally buy the Lunar Classic straight away, send it to Terra Station, and then we will send it to Burn. But I'm probably going to use a DEX actually to buy it. I'll try and find the cheapest method for us to pretty much buy the coins, so we end up burning the maximum amount, even if it works out as 10 more Lunar Classic than we would have if we'd done it on an exchange. We're still going to do it because it's more, right? So yeah, thank you so much for that, John Weidman. As to the overall burn, I can actually tell you a few little bits. So we can set it to the last 7 days, and in the last 7 days there's been 35.14 million sent to Burn of Lunar Classic, and then the USTC, as you know, one of LUNC DAO's founders sent a huge amount to Burn. So yeah, a lot of people have been going on about this, loads of conspiracy theories about how LUNC DAO's TFL and Do Kwon and all this stuff. And to be quite honest, I've spoken to him, as you folks know. It's definitely not Do Kwon. And to be quite honest, if someone wants to burn 5% of the circulating supply, are we going to stop them? No. Would we have told them not to do it? No. Do we care about any repercussions that happens to these people from burning that much of the amount that they have? No, because at the end of the day, all we care about is how much they burn, and that's it. And when it's got being burnt, or when it has been burnt, and that's just the cold truth behind it all, because ultimately that's what you want to see, right? Right. And that's what I want to see, right? Right. So we're all in agreement that, well, we might not all be in agreement, but you get what I'm saying. So overall, on the burn count, just quickly before we come off of this one, if we set it to custom, set it to off, it's 1.18 billion Lunar Classic that has been burnt. So thank you so much for those donations, John Weidman. Let's grab the price of Terra Classic up. It seems to have hit a support level. You can see the support level once here, twice, 3 times. You could call this a 4th, you could call that a 5th, and you could call this possible a 6th bounce. But obviously, remember, this is just one big downtrend, folks. So if we take it, and I'm really bad at technical analysis, but I'll give you my best shot. It's not financial advice, but you can pretty much see that we are in a falling wedge, so to speak. So if we just, so you can see we're heading down, you know. When you put lines like this, it shows you that we're in a downtrend. Now, you can break these downtrends at any point, but obviously always be aware that it could just keep going down. We have seen this before, and like I said, we don't know what carried it, and that's just the truth behind this. Anybody who thinks they know, they don't know, because not even people like Terra Rebels knew what was carrying it. So yeah, could have been FOMO, but once again, not actually seeing that crazy increase in the holders, and the holders have been going up. They've gone up by around we'll call it, say 200 holders it's gone up by. So it's going up, but just you're not seeing that FOMO, right? The only other place you can check to see the wallets is to query the actual blockchain itself, and it's a bit peculiar really, because you query it and it gives you the option to query active addresses, all of the addresses, or non-active addresses and banned addresses and all kinds of things like that. So I was going to do a video on that soon. You get different holder numbers from different places at the moment, so it is rather peculiar. Moving back to the questions board, maybe support coining with the purchase. Yeah, possibly, actually. We could do that. I will put a vote out, Andy, when the time comes in the next couple of days as to where we should buy the coins from and who we should support. Does that sound like a good idea? Smash the penguins if that sounds like a good idea, folks. Good evening, sir, from Mars. Nice, Panky. Nice. Can I get a ticket to Mars with you, please? Genius. Yeah, good idea. Coining. Yeah, I think that's actually a really good idea, to be quite honest. We could make use of a sign-up bonus probably as well, and do something for that quickly, and maybe possibly earn a little bit more to burn. I don't know. Or we could do it and use it to get a better sign-up bonus somewhere else, which then we could in turn use it to send to burn. So we've got options. I would say we have got options. Everyone must go buy LUNC on Coinin. They have the 1.2% burn tax on buy and sell. Yeah, they do. That's correct, they do. But folks, you're always free to make your own mind up and make your own choices. Remember that. Don't ever allow emotions to sway your judgment, so to speak. It's really important, in my opinion. So yeah, absolutely crazy out there in these markets in this day and age, especially with what's happened with Voyager, right? Put a sad face emoji in the chat if you've got holding stuck on Voyager, and then let me know if there's something that I can do for you in some way that I can be helpful to that side of the community, because like I said, my door's open to everyone. If there's some way I can help you folks, then I will help you folks. We are a huddle of penguins and we accept anyone into the fold, don't we folks? So moving forward, he sanked it when it was gaining momentum last week and it reached over 1 billion market cap IMO. Yeah, and I mean, this coin has huge potential with people that are coming out like Paybolt, Coinin, Deploy Starship. Now, there's loads of these lists going around with all these other things on it that aren't even doing anything. They're not even burning anything. Thank you so much, Darwin Lolly. That will be exactly going to burn. All of the people that have sent donations, by the way, I have a cool little list in the YouTube creator section. So every time we do the burns, any donations and stuff like that, you'll all be credited for your donations. I'll make sure the community knows what you folks have done and what you have done, even with me saying to you, don't do it, don't do it, don't do it, and you still do it. So I'm at a point where I just have to like look at you and just accept this is what my community is. My community are as giving as I am to them, and it's beautiful. Joe Donnelly, I see a sad face. Robert Wood, I see a sad face. Lads, listen, anybody that's affected by the Voyager, feel free to reach out to me on Twitter. Or yeah, just reach out to me on Twitter and DM and let me know how I can help you, because like I said, I really do want to, if we can apply pressure to Voyager to open everything back up so you folks can get all your stuff off, that's all we need, don't we? You know what I mean? They've already proven themselves to be no good. I have been researching it a little bit and it does look hairy. It doesn't look like anything legal's actually happened. It doesn't look good. It looks like they're going to be dragged into court themselves and things like that. If Binance owns majority of LUNC, we are in real trouble. We might be and we may not be. I would rather Binance hold all of those coins than the users, because there's an argument between people's opinions as to, there's Binance staking number 15 on the staking list, and there is an argument between groups of people as to if it's actually Binance or not, which is really, really interesting. Gaming with Honeybee, thank you so much. Literally, you folks are beautiful. Absolutely, I just can't even with you. It's all going to burn, okay, folks? Everything on the Happy Catty Crypto channel is going to burn up until the 31st of August, and yeah. I'm so excited to do it for you folks, and then you folks to just be like, yay, we did our first burn, woohoo. Did CZ address the burn tax? Not in this AMA, he did not. But like I said, I'm going to look into flying to Paris. I've actually just texted my friend to ask if they can look after my cat, because going from here to Paris it's about 35 quid on the Eurostar. I'll take my bike with me and I'll just cycle through Paris to get to wherever it is. It's nothing new to me, and I love cycling, so, and I don't even own a car, so I'd rather just cycle. Smash those penguins if you prefer to cycle than own a car. Only 2 channels in YouTube. I love seeing 30-second ads. I don't skip. Yeah, and not skipping the ads actually gives the channels a lot more revenue. I didn't know this until someone actually let me know and said, if you tell your subscribers not to skip, you get more money. I said, well, I'm not going to ask them to do stuff. I said, if they want to do it, they can do it. That's down to them. You can't force people through a door in this. It just doesn't work. I love cats. I got a rescue also. What kind of cat have you got? Someone put a Bengal up in the Telegram groups. Beautiful. Yeah, 35 quid, mate. Yeah. Yeah. As my friend would say, yeah, Wiggy, sound. Yeah, 35 quid. Oh my God, the joys of living just outside London and working inside London is it's crazy. You meet some really, really, really cool people. London has the most, I would say, one of the most like broadest culture. It's just such a culture hub, in my opinion. When you go into London, you can meet people from all walks of life and everywhere on the planet, especially down by Battersea Arts College. I like going and watching things in the Arts College in London. It's really nice. If the price stays low, we could burn more coins with less volume. Yes, and there has been groups that have suggested, and I've seen this knocking around, that as a collective we should crash the price down again and then buy into it, and it just wouldn't work like that. It's not something that you can do. It's not, and it's really, really nasty to do something like that. In my opinion, it's not good for the community. It will put a lot of people under a lot of stress, and yeah, you should never attempt to try and manipulate the market as a group. And I know there's lots of groups that do that. Don't care for CZ, as long as the community bond together, we can reach the stars. Anyway, Boris just resigned. Oh, did he? Oh, okay, very interesting. I don't really listen to politics too much. I didn't actually know he was at that point. Any news on whether or not Binance are going to burn their LUNC holdings? We do not have any news, and we do not know if it's their holdings or users' holdings or a mix of both. We're a little bit blind to it at the moment, so to speak, because we're just not getting that AMA time. Like, those questions that got asked were absolutely ridiculous. I mean, you could have Googled those things, like someone said in the chat, and yeah, Brian Dowie, wow, Jay going to Paris. Yeah, it's not guaranteed, folks. I'm pretty sure you'll need to buy a ticket to the actual event, more than likely, as well. But I've got a few friends over in Paris, so we might be able to make it work. Honestly, folks, no one ever needs to pitch in or donate anything. I really appreciate how beautiful you folks are, but honestly, it's absolutely fine. I can cover it. It's not a problem. Come on, Jay, go to France and get the answers yourself. You are a hero. Yeah, I'm seriously debating it. Like I said, I've just contacted someone about looking after Happy for a day or two. Boris Johnson spotted in IKEA looking for a new cabinet. Recession, bear market until 2023 at least. Yeah, it's normally around a 4 to 5 year cycle, and Bitcoin halving is coming up relatively soon. So yeah, it's looking everything in crypto's time, in my opinion. You can try and play the market and time the market as much as you want, but it seems the best form of play in this day and age, and seems to be what all of the top people say, is to just buy and hodl. Buy when there's blood in the streets, and sell when you hear little old ladies talking about it in the corner shop when you go to get your Sunday paper. CZ in Paris. yeah, definitely. They want to dry the pond. Who is that? Weeks, Binance manipulates or to use the markup and so on. They play with the numbers, quite skilled at it. Yeah, and I have witnessed this myself multiple times, that they pretty much mess around with the way that they move coins around to create fake volume. It's absolutely insane. Gabriel, thank you so much for that donation. I really appreciate it. What did you miss? Not much, because the questions that got answered in this CZ AMA was absolutely junk. It was an absolute shambles. The volume was absolutely terrible. No one could hear it. Thank you so much, Big Ted. Honestly, thank you so much, folks. It's all going to burn. Remember that. But yeah, welcome, Gabriel. Big Ted, it's always nice to see you here. You're literally such an awesome dude. I can't say that enough. But yeah, they're doing a AMA in Paris, which is going to be awesome. Hopefully there's other people there that are wanting to ask these questions, but are not being so, not spammy, but just like they said, they wanted to have the questions really direct, and I had those 3 direct questions that I wanted to ask, and it's like you couldn't even raise your hand. So it was like, how was that fair? So yeah, absolutely insane. And as to Binance's behavior, a lot of people do know this, but he retweeted a Matrix quote and saying about living in a simulation and all kinds of things like this. And it's really interesting because, I mean, if you've been with me from the start, you know how I feel about Matrix quotes. It's just a thing for me. I really like the whole concept of the Matrix. When I was younger, it was really mind-blowing, like it was for most my age. So just the concept behind it's really, really interesting about the control over the populace and how it's easily gained through media and brainwashing and stuff like that. So there's old techniques that the Russian media, I think, used a very long time ago during wartime and things like that. And it was just constant bombardment of the same information. And eventually you take it in and you start to believe what is constantly being fed to you. And this is something similar that happens with FUD. And if you don't know what FUD is, it's just pretty much people going around spreading fear, undoubt, and discertainty. So yeah, it's crazy. I need you to never stop, bro. Yeah, no, I'm never stopping. I'm never, ever, ever, ever stopping. How old is my cat? I only have 1 cat at the moment. I do want to get another cat. I say we, it's just me and the cat when I say we. I think she's around, I don't know, about 8-9 months, maybe a little bit older. So I found her on an island when I was helping my mate. His boat was sinking. I went to help him. We was going past this island called Crow Island. And yeah, next thing I know, we seen this little cat running around. And next thing I know, I'm a cat owner. So yeah, I have a thing for finding lost animals. I found a lost dog on the way home last week. And we had to take him into the dog warden and things like that. But luckily, he was a rescue. He had a really nice owner. He's just confused as to where he lives. And he does it quite often. So, yeah. Craig Salter, welcome. Not really, no. It was a bit of a shambles, in my opinion. Yeah, just go back and watch this live stream again, I would say. And the sound and everything was absolutely terrible. Honestly, I could have done a better job of hosting that myself. He should have just called me up this morning and said, "Hey, HappyCattyCrypto, can you host a CZBINANCE AMA?" Yeah, no problems. Yeah, we'll get that all done for you. Sound? Yeah, we got loads of sound. He's coming and all. Yeah, sound, he'll be there. He'll definitely be there. But yeah, it was a bit lusterless, wasn't it? So yeah. Folks, do smash that like button, smash those penguins. I'm going to leave it there because it's running up to an hour, and I will catch you lot tomorrow in the live streams. More content coming today. Some really good stuff coming out in the woodwork. Do remember Starship, Deploy Starship is, it's a whole metaverse, okay? And they're implementing Lunar Classic as a payment method, and they're implementing the 1.2% burn tax. It's going to be huge, okay? I think it's a bit underestimated, but it has absolutely monumental potential. So, yeah, do keep an eye out for that one, folks. Stay safe out there. Beware of scammers, doppelgangers, anybody pretending to be me, or the HappyCattyCrypto channel, or the Lunar Classic Let It Burn channel, and just stay safe. Thank you so much, all you beautiful people, for your lovely donations. It's all going to burn all the way up to the 31st of August. And, yeah, look forward to that one, folks, and always keeping you updated as it unfolds. And like I always say, catch you in the next one.